Finding Emma. This is an A2 level English short story. Growing up, Emma always felt different from the other girls in her small town. While they spent their time talking about makeup, boys, and the latest fashion trends, Emma was more interested in playing soccer, reading graphic novels, and hanging out with the boys. She wore baggy jeans, oversized hoodies, and sneakers instead of dresses or skirts. For her, these things just felt right. But not everyone saw it that way. At school, the other girls would tease her constantly. "Why are you dressed like a boy?" they would say, laughing as they passed her in the hallways. "Maybe you are a boy." The boys she played soccer with sometimes joined in, making her feel even more out of place. Emma tried to ignore it, but the bullying stung. She spent most of her teenage years feeling confused and alone, not quite fitting into the mold of what people expected her to be. She often wondered why she was so different. Why didn't she care about the things other girls seemed to? Why did their interests feel so foreign to her? By the time she finished high school, Emma was desperate for a change. She wanted to escape the narrow-minded town that had never accepted her for who she was. When she got into university, she jumped at the chance to move to the city, hoping things would be different there. And they were. University felt like a fresh start. There were so many different kinds of people, each living their lives without worrying about fitting into boxes. Emma made friends with people who shared her love for soccer and books, and nobody seemed to care how she dressed or what she liked. For the first time, she felt like she could breathe. One afternoon, Emma met Sarah in one of her classes. Sarah was funny, smart, and confident, with a warmth that drew people in. The two became fast friends, spending hours together studying, talking, or just hanging out. But as their friendship grew, Emma noticed something different in the way she felt around Sarah. She found herself thinking about Sarah more and more, and every time they were together, she felt a nervous excitement she couldn't explain. It didn't take long for Emma to realize what was happening. She was falling for Sarah. This realization terrified her. She had grown up in a place where being gay was talked about in whispers or not at all. Though university was more open and accepting, she wasn't sure how to handle her feelings. Was this really who she was? And if it was, what did that mean? Emma struggled with these questions for weeks, but her feelings for Sarah didn't go away. Eventually, she knew she had to say something. One evening after soccer practice, Emma and Sarah were sitting together in the park. The conversation was light as usual, but Emma couldn't focus. She took a deep breath and finally spoke. "Sarah, there's something I need to tell you," she began, her voice shaky. I think I have feelings for you. More than just as a friend." For a moment there was silence. Emma's heart raced, afraid of what Sarah would say. But then, Sarah smiled softly and reached for Emma's hand. "I've been waiting for you to say that," Sarah replied, her voice gentle. "I feel the same way." Relief flooded through Emma, followed by a sense of peace she hadn't felt in a long time. In that moment, she realized she didn't need to be afraid of who she was anymore. In the months that followed, Emma started to feel more comfortable in her own skin. She and Sarah began dating, and Emma learned that there was nothing wrong with being different. She didn't need to fit into the traditional image of what a girl was supposed to be. She was just Emma, someone who loved soccer, video games, and Sarah. Looking back, Emma saw how much she had grown since her teenage years. The bullying and judgment she had experienced no longer held power over her. University had given her the space to explore who she truly was, and for the first time in her life, she felt free. She had found herself, her authentic self, and she wasn't going to hide anymore. The end.
We hope you enjoyed this story. For more stories and activities, visit the Queer Triptych at www.queertriptych.weebly.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe.